A few days ago, I was on Twitter scrolling through when I came across a new account which had been retweeted which caught my eye, called F1 Images that precede unfortunate events, also known as @cursed F1 Images. As you can see by the title and the bio, it basically shows pictures just before a big moment happened, whether that was a crash, an overtake, a retirement, or something that stands out in the history of F1. So I thought I would take those pictures and turn it into a quiz, so you can have a go at seeing how good your F1 knowledge is, and if you can work out what each image is. Before we start, make sure you go and follow Cursed F1 Images on Twitter. I will leave a link in the description. Big thanks to whoever runs that account for giving me the idea for this video. So, what are the rules? Well, there will be 25 different cursed F1 pictures, with the first picture being called Picture A and the last picture being called Picture Y. They're in a random order, so they aren't done in chronological order, although they all come from the last 25 years or so, and the vast majority are from the last 5 to 10 years. There are possible 5 points on offer for each image. Some images might have a different scoring system, but I will say that if and when I get to one. The first 2 points are for the circuit or country, if you can't remember the circuit that the image is from, and the year of the race. The third point is for naming the drivers involved. I will specify the amount of drivers I want to know for each image. The fourth point is the main reason for the video, what happened which causes the image to be cursed. Finally, there's a bonus point available if you can tell me who actually won the race as well. Leave all your answers below in the comments, doing one line at a time for each answer, and at the end of the episode I'll go through each image one by one so you can see how many you got right. To give you an example, I'll quickly show you a practice image so you can get used to it, and I will give you all the answers to it. Here's the image. I want you to name the drivers of both cars in the image, not just the main car you can see in the image. I will give you a few seconds to think, and then I'll tell you the answers. Time's up. So, if you didn't know, this image comes from the 2010 Turkish Grand Prix, when Red Bull drivers Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel crashed into each other, causing Vettel to retire from the race. So the answer to question 1 is Istanbul or Turkey. The answer to question 2 is 2010. The drivers are Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. The incident was both drivers crashed into each other, and the winner of the race was Lewis Hamilton. You don't have to explain the event in loads of detail, just a brief few words like that will do. Finally, this is how I would have commented on this question if it was part of the quiz, with the next image's answers going in the line below, and so on. Now that you hopefully understand how this quiz works, let's get started. To start the quiz, I thought I would make image A a relatively easy one. For question 3, I want to know all the 3 drivers in the image, i.e. the 2 Ferraris and the Red Bull. For image B, I want to know both drivers in this image. If you're an older F1 fan, this should be pretty easy, but if you're new to the sport, you may possibly struggle. Image C is again an older one, although I just want to know the single driver of the main car in this image, which may make it slightly easier. Image D is also just a one driver image as well. That's the only hint I'll give with that. For image E, I want to know the 2 drivers of the Ferrari car and the Renault car. Other than that, the standard answers please. Image F is the first non-race image, as you can probably guess, and I want to know the driver who's shown in the image, and the other driver that was involved in the incident, if you can remember correctly. Image G is just the one driver again, as shown in the image. Image H is another standard one, involving both drivers on the screen, but who are they? There are quite a lot of cars involved in Image I, but I want to know who is driving the McLaren and the Force India cars. However, along with it being a bonus point for telling me the race winner, I'll also give you a bonus point if you can name the two drivers of the other two cars in the foreground of the image. Image J is where I have to change the questions around. Questions 1, 2 and 4 are the same, but this time question 3 is who won the race, and the bonus question is can you name the 6 drivers who feature in this image, excluding the medical car at the back of the grid. Image K is another non-race image, but can you name me both drivers featured in the image? I have had to cover up part of the image to try and hide which race it was. Image L is another straightforward image question wise. I want to know both drivers involved in the image. Image M is once again a non-race image, and I want to know the driver being interviewed and the interviewer, who is an ex-F1 driver, if that helps. Image N is quite a busy one. There is one name in particular who I'm looking for, who will get you the point if you say his name, but there are 3 or 4 others who are involved as well, so I'll be quite lenient for this image. Image O is quite simple compared to the last image though, with just the one driver involved. There was also only one driver involved in image P, but what happened? Image Q might be slightly complicated. I want to know the driver that the people in the picture are cheering for, but I also want to know the 2 other people involved in that race which caused the image to be cursed. There are quite a few cars in image R, but I want to know just the main driver for this image. Image S is another one car image, but why is it cursed? Continuing the one car trend, we have image T. Image U is another double Red Bull image like the practice one, but who are they and what happened? From double Red Bull in the last image, we go to double Mercedes in image V. Image W is also a double Mercedes, although a certain graphic slightly gives away part of the image. Image X, the penultimate of the quiz, once again features 2 cars, but from different teams this time around. Finally, we finish on image Y, and this is a very recent image, without giving too much away. So those are all the images. If you want to go back and go through any of the images before seeing the answers, feel free to do so before moving on. However, I will now show you the answers to each of the images and let's see how many you got right. Firstly, image A comes from the 2017 Singapore Grand Prix, when Max Verstappen, Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel crashed into each other, causing all three drivers to retire from the race. So 1 is Marina Bay or Singapore, 2 is 2017, 3 is Verstappen, Raikkonen and Vettel, 4 is all three drivers crashed into each other, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. Image B comes from the 1994 Australian Grand Prix, when Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher crashed into each other, forcing both drivers to retire and meaning Schumacher won his first World Championship. Although many say Schumacher deliberately crashed into Hill so that he could win the championship. 1 is Adelaide, Australia, 2 is 1994, 3 is Hill and Schumacher, 4 is both drivers crashed into each other and retired, and the bonus is Nigel Mansell. Image C comes from the 1999 British Grand Prix, when Michael Schumacher's brakes failed and he crashed at Stowe Corner, breaking his leg, causing him to miss the next 6 races. 1 is Silverstone or Great Britain, 2 is 1999, 3 is Schumacher, 4 is Schumacher's brakes failed, meaning he crashed and broke his leg, and the bonus is David Coulthard. Image D comes from the 2016 Malaysian Grand Prix, when Lewis Hamilton's engine failed whilst leading the race, which some people say is what caused him to lose the championship that year to his teammate Nico Rosberg. 1 is Sepang or Malaysia, 2 is 2016, 3 is Hamilton, 4 is Hamilton's engine failed whilst leading the race, and the bonus is Daniel Ricciardo. Image E comes from the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, when Fernando Alonso failed to overtake Vitaly Petrov, which caused him to miss out on winning the Drivers' Championship for the 3rd time. 1 is Abu Dhabi or United Arab Emirates, 2 is 2010, 3 is Alonso and Petrov, 4 is Alonso failed to overtake Petrov for the rest of the race, and the bonus is Sebastian Vettel. If you want to know more about this race, check out my video on it by clicking the I button in the top right hand corner. Image F comes from the 2007 Hungarian Grand Prix, when Fernando Alonso sat in the pit lane in the last minute to stop his teammate Lewis Hamilton from changing tyres and getting out in time to start another hot lap. Alonso ended up getting pole but was demoted 5 places on the grid, and McLaren would be docked any constructors' points they won during the race. 1 is Hungaroring or Hungary, 2 is 2007, 3 is Alonso and Hamilton, 4 is Alonso sat in the pit lane to stop Hamilton from setting another qualifying lap, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. Image G comes from the 2018 German Grand Prix, when Sebastian Vettel crashed from the lead of the race, which caused a safety car, with his championship rival Lewis Hamilton going on to win the race. 1 is Hockenheim or Germany, 2 is 2018, 3 is Vettel, 4 is Vettel crashed while leading the race, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. Image H is from the 2014 Canadian Grand Prix, when Sergio Perez and Felipe Massa crashed on the last lap of the race, battling for 4th place, with 3rd place Sebastian Vettel not far ahead either. 1 is Montreal or Canada, 2 is 2014, 3 is Perez and Massa, 4 is both drivers crash into each other on the last lap, and the bonus is Daniel Ricciardo. Image I comes from the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix, when Lewis Hamilton and Nico Hülkenberg crashed into each other whilst battling for the lead and overtaking back markers, causing Hamilton to retire from the race in his last race for McLaren. 1 is Interlagos or Brazil. 2 is 2012. 3 is Hamilton and Hülkenberg. 4 is Hamilton and Hülkenberg crashed into each other, with Hamilton retiring. And the bonus is Jenson Button. The second bonus point for the 2 extra cars is Timo Glock and Heikki Kovalainen in the Caterham. Image J comes from the 2005 United States Grand Prix, when only 6 cars started the race due to the fact the teams who used Michelin tyres had been told it wasn't safe for their tyres to do more than 10 laps at a time. 1 is Indianapolis or United States. 2 is 2005. 3 is Michael Schumacher, winner of the race. 4 is only 6 cars started the race due to tyre issues with Michelin. And the bonus is Michael Schumacher, Rubens Barrichello, Thiago Montero, Narain Karthikeyan, Christian Albers, and Patrick Friesacher. Well done if you got all 6 drivers. Image K comes from the 2015 United States Grand Prix after Lewis Hamilton had won his 3rd World Championship. Each driver who finishes on the podium wears a cap, and Hamilton threw Rosberg, Hamilton's teammate, his cap to wear, but Rosberg threw the cap right back at Hamilton, angry at losing out on the World Championship, although he would go on to win it the year after. 1 is COTA or United States. 2 is 2015. 3 is Hamilton and Rosberg. 4 is Hamilton throws Rosberg his cap and Rosberg throws it back at him, and the bonus was also Lewis Hamilton. Image L comes from the 2018 Brazilian Grand Prix when race leader Max Verstappen was clipped by Esteban Ocon, who was trying to unlap himself. This caused Lewis Hamilton to win the race, with Verstappen 2nd. 1 is Interlagos or Brazil. 2 is 2018. 3 is Verstappen and Ocon. 4 is Ocon hit Verstappen whilst trying to unlap himself, and the bonus is once again Lewis Hamilton. Image M comes from the 2006 Brazilian Grand Prix, which was Michael Schumacher's last race before his first retirement, with Pele giving him a trophy to celebrate. Kimi Raikkonen missed the presentation though, and when asked by Martin Brundle about it, he said this:
Kimi, you missed the presentation by Pele.
Yeah.
Will you get over it?
Yeah, I was having a shit.
1 is Interlagos or Brazil. 2 is 2006. 3 is Raikkonen and Brundle. 4 is Raikkonen swears on live TV, and the bonus is Felipe Massa. Image N comes from the 2012 Belgian Grand Prix when there was a multi-car crash at the first corner of the race caused by Romain Grosjean, which saw Grosjean, Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso all retire from the race along with Sergio Perez, with Grosjean's car going over the top of Alonso's. 1 is Spa or Belgium. 2 is 2012. The main name I'm looking for in 3 is Grosjean, but I'll accept Alonso, Hamilton and Perez as well. 4 is Grosjean causes a big crash into turn 1, and the bonus is Jenson Button. Image O comes from the 2018 Azerbaijan Grand Prix when Valtteri Bottas ran over a bit of debris on the track, causing him to get a puncture and lose the lead of the race to his teammate Lewis Hamilton. 1 is Baku or Azerbaijan. 2 is 2018. 3 is Bottas. 4 is Bottas ran over debris and got a puncture, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. Image P comes from the 1994 German Grand Prix when the Benetton of Jos Verstappen caught on fire during a pit stop after a fuel spillage. Luckily, the fire was put out quickly and no one was seriously injured. 1 was Hockenheim or Germany. 2 was 1994. 3 was Jos Verstappen. 4 was Verstappen's car caught on fire during a pit stop, and the bonus is Gerhard Berger. Image Q comes from the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix when Lewis Hamilton overtook Timo Glock on the last corner of the last lap of the last race of the season to win his first Drivers' Championship, ahead of Ferrari's Felipe Massa, who at the time of the image was set to win his first championship instead. I have also done a video on this race if you want to find out about the race in more detail. 1 is Interlagos or Brazil, 2 is 2008, 3 is Massa, Glock and Hamilton, 4 is Hamilton overtook Glock on the last lap to beat Massa to the Drivers' Championship, and the bonus is Felipe Massa. Image R comes from the 2007 Canadian Grand Prix when Robert Kubica had a huge accident, crashing into a concrete wall before rolling back onto the track and hitting the opposite wall. Somehow, the only injuries he received were a concussion and a sprained ankle, although he did miss the next race of the season. 1 was Montreal or Canada, 2 was 2007, 3 was Kubica, 4 was Kubica had a big accident, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton, his first win of his career. Image S comes from the 2018 Bahrain Grand Prix when Ferrari mechanic Francesco Cigarini was accidentally ran over by Kimi Raikkonen, causing him to break his leg and forcing Raikkonen to retire from the race. Cigarini has since recovered and was part of Ferrari's mechanics at the 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix. 1 was Sakir or Bahrain, 2 was 2018, 3 was Raikkonen, 4 was Raikkonen accidentally ran over a mechanic, and the bonus is Sebastian Vettel. Image T comes from the 2007 Chinese Grand Prix when Lewis Hamilton beached his car in the gravel trap on the way into the pits on very worn tyres, whilst in a position to win the World Championship in his rookie season, and he would go on to finish second in the championship that year. 1 was Shanghai or China, 2 was 2007, 3 was Hamilton, 4 was Hamilton got stuck in a gravel trap on the way into the pits, and the bonus is Kimi Raikkonen. Image U comes from the 2018 Azerbaijan Grand Prix when the two Red Bulls of Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo crashed into each other, causing both drivers to retire from the race, in a similar fashion to what happened to Vettel and Webber at the 2010 Turkish Grand Prix. 1 was Baku or Azerbaijan, 2 was 2018, 3 was Verstappen and Ricciardo, 4 was both drivers crashed into each other, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. Image V comes from the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix when Nico Rosberg clipped the tyre of teammate Lewis Hamilton, giving him front wing damage but giving Hamilton a rear puncture, which saw him go to the back of the race, with Rosberg finishing second. 1 was Spa or Belgium, 2 was 2014, 3 was Rosberg and Hamilton, 4 was Rosberg clipped Hamilton, giving him a puncture, and the bonus is Daniel Ricciardo. Image W comes from the 2018 Russian Grand Prix when Valtteri Bottas was told by his race engineer to let his teammate Lewis Hamilton overtake him to make sure Vettel didn't overtake Hamilton as they were battling for the championship. Hamilton went on to win the race, although many felt Bottas deserved to win. 1 was Sochi or Russia, 2 was 2018, 3 was Bottas and Hamilton, 4 was Bottas as told by his engineer to let Hamilton pass, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. Image X comes from the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix when Sebastian Vettel deliberately drove into Lewis Hamilton after Vettel believed Hamilton brake tested him, although this wasn't the case. Vettel went on to receive a 10-second stop-go penalty. 1 was Baku or Azerbaijan, 2 was 2017, 3 was Vettel and Hamilton, 4 was Vettel deliberately drives into Hamilton, and the bonus is Daniel Ricciardo. Finally, image Y comes from the 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix, when Lewis Hamilton overtook Charles Leclerc for the lead of the race after Leclerc had been leading comfortably. However, his engine dropped a cylinder, meaning he lost power, losing up to 5 seconds a lap, meaning he was a sitting duck to Hamilton and Bottas, and only a safety car at the end of the race stopped him from falling further behind. 1 was Sakhir or Bahrain, 2 was 2019, 3 was Hamilton and Leclerc, 4 was Hamilton overtook Leclerc for the lead after Leclerc had engine issues, and the bonus is Lewis Hamilton. So there are all of the answers to the quiz. There were 100 normal points and the 26 bonus points, so 126 points in total. Working it out, I would have got 97 out of 100 in the normal points and 18 out of 26 in the bonus points, so 115 out of 126 in total. So if you beat that, let me know. I reckon you should be able to score over 90 in the normal points if you're quite a big F1 fan, although the bonus points will be harder, and if you can score over 15 in the bonus points, I would say you've done well. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I may make another quiz like this in the future if people enjoy it, or I may make another type of sports quiz as well. Finally, if you're a gaming fan, be sure to check out my 2 gaming channels, Seabury Plays and FC Seabury. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.